it is. So this is Terry Moore Miller from Terry Cures for Health. And each year I try to do a fasting week. And so this year what I wanted to do is invite other people to join in if they would like to. And I have on screen here what it is that we'll be going through in order to prepare for this fasting week for 2025. Right? Now, to start, a little bit behind because I'm doing this on February 4th as opposed to February 1st, which is when I would really had wanted to do it. But let's say we're starting right now. We still have a couple of weeks to go through anyway, so we can still get some preparation in. So if you get this right away and you can start it, what we're going to try to do is have a eating window of 6 hours. Different people have different times when they can do this. For me, what I'm doing is I am going to have lunch at 12 and stop eating by 6 p.m., right? That's what the 6 hour eating window means. Now, outside of that, you can drink. So for instance, I'll be having more tea or cocoa for this trip. I won't be having as much coffee as I used to. You can also have your electrolytes and water, coconut drink. Try to not have sugar drink, so not soda or fruit juice or any of those that they put sugar in. Right? What we're trying to do is have a smaller eating window and start to eat as clean as possible. I am not going to limit anything like bread or anything like that for right now. That we will limit later on. Right. So let's see if we can eat as clean as possible until the end of February. We have Ash Wednesday coming in with a full moon. Don't know if you guys are going to do any of the ritual. I might do one at that time. On February 27th, there is a new moon. Might also do a ritual there. But then February 28th at 7 p.m., Ramadan begins. And I like to do Ramadan with this as well, because what Ramadan does is give you the day to not have anything. And I'm going to try to stick with it as best as possible where we do not have anything. You can look up on Ramadan and see if it's something that you want to join into, or you just want to continue with the 6 hour eating window. If you do the 6 hour eating window alone, what I would suggest is that you sort of narrow that to maybe 4 hour eating window at some point, because we are going to go into a 1 meal a day situation. So Ramadan begins on Friday, February 28th, and I'm going to do it from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And so what Ramadan is where you do not eat during the day. So for me, not eating during the day would mean I can eat between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Then I don't eat or drink until 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And those are the only times. So I eat 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon. What I'm going to do here as well is this time eat as clean as possible. So I have on here veggies, seafood, chicken, eggs, avocados, nuts, seeds, real cheese, not processed cheese. This is cheese that's made with real cream and aged for a couple of months at least. It would be better if you can get it aged for a year, but at least a couple of months. Chocolate, which is 90% dark or over. Anything lower than that has too much sugar in there for us. Then the oils. It could be extra virgin oils, which are coconut, olive oil, avocado, and all the various fruits. So during this time, we'll try to eat as clean as possible, as it says here. And let's see the Mediterranean food list that I have prepared below. So let's go in here and get that going. All right, so I got this Mediterranean food list online, right? It's from the mediterraneanlifestyle.com and gave me a good list of the different foods that we can have, right? So I went through and just gray out all the ones that I think we don't need, but everything else on here is good to go. What I did was a lot of the and sugary fruits, carby vegetables, I took out. I did say to eat clean, not have things like ground beef, but I think it's okay if you don't go overboard with that, and you should be fine. Be careful on your beans and legumes. Not everyone can eat that as much. You'll know how it is that you are with your own diet as well. Fats and nuts are really good, and if you notice, we have all the different fats and nuts on here that you can go through. Everything on this list is absolutely fine. We have dairy that you can have. These are real cheese, Greek yogurt, plain as well. It says low fat milk. Actually, I should have taken that out because we want real fat milk. I never go low fat with anything. Think all the spices are okay. Those should not spike your carbs or your insulin. Things for the pantry, these are all right. Canned tomato is on here. Hopefully it doesn't have sugar, so you should be fine. It says tomato paste again. If it, just keep away from the added sugar and the sun-dried tomato if it has too much sugar, right? Took out most of the grains on here, but I left in the quinoa, the whole grain rice. I almost took that out. If you can get wild grain rice, that would be best. Now, all these on here for the greens should be okay. So this just gives us a good list of different things that you can eat during that period for our clean eating. All right. Okay, so let's go to March. March are all set. It's just continue doing what we have been doing. And here you can start to refine it, right? Because let's say something happened, you go, oh, I missed a day, or you find out that there's one thing or the other that didn't work for you, then you can always go through here and refine your eating process. So Ash Wednesday is on March the 5th. The time change to daylight savings time is on March the 9th. Full moon here is on the 14th, and another new moon on the 29th. Alrighty then. So let's get to the big month. So this is April, which is when in the middle of April is when we are going to have fast week. So I had fast week and holy week be the same this year. I don't remember if that's how I've always done it. All right. Well, let's go through it. So Ramadan is going to end on the 30th of March at 8 p.m. So you'll have your Ramadan in the morning. You go from your 6 to 7. Then in the afternoon, you'll go from 7 to 8. That's it. You're done with Ramadan. Don't have to worry about that. However, now we're going to step into 2 weeks of OMAD. This is where you eat one meal per day. So earlier I said if you are not going to do Ramadan, it would be good if you reduce your time period. It's because of this. We're going to have 2 weeks of one meal a day. So it would be good if you went from a 6 hour to maybe a 3 hour eating window, and then you're going to cut down to a 1 hour eating window. With this, we are going to ensure that we drink a lot. And these are non-sugary, non-insulin spike beverages. Things that you can do with apple cider vinegar, pickle juice, water, electrolytes that don't have sugar, nor any of the sweeteners that's what do you call that? That's poisonous, right? Good ones are monk fruit and stevia. Those are the only two ones that I would approve. Monk fruit has erythritol, and that's a cleaner one. And stevia is also okay. Personally, I would prefer to have the monk fruit or the erythritol than even the stevia. Stevia seems to change the taste. All right. So continue to eat clean for the OMAD. So it's the same thing, right? And as I said, that begins on the 31st, and this will end on Sunday, April 13th, right? One thing you can do is during that period of time, you can also prepare for the fast. So you can get your tea, your electrolytes, your bone broth together and have them there so that you don't have to try to prepare. Just in case you get like maybe a little tired or a little weak or anything like that, you're not exerting yourself and trying to think too much while you are on your fast. Okay. There are a lot of fast approved beverages that you can go through. You can go online and see if there are ones that you would like to do that I don't have here. But the fast begins on April the 14th, so in the morning. And what we do here is we have our tea, the electrolytes, and bone broth. So first thing in the morning, you will have your tea, and you can always drink more if you want. That's fine. But what I tend to do is have my tea in the morning, have my electrolytes middle of the day, and have my bone broth like for dinner, right? Now, if you are on medication or anything like that, and you cannot go through this and you can't not have something to eat, then this isn't for you, right? Please make sure you're doing this in a safe and controlled environment based on what it is that you have. This is not medically approved or anything like that. All right. Okay. So the next day we do the same thing. We have tea, electrolytes, and bone broth. Then on Wednesday, we have water with salt only in the morning after having the tea, right? So we're going to have the tea and then basically, and the tea when it's in the morning could be 7, 8 o'clock at that point. Then your water fast begins. And we are going to go into a 3-day water fast. So it will start on Wednesday morning, Thursday, Friday, until Saturday morning. On Saturday morning, we can then technically break the water fast with tea. Actually, there's another option on here. You could end your you could actually do a dry fast on Friday, and instead of when you have your tea Friday morning, have nothing until Saturday morning. And that will give you 24 hours of a dry fast. And dry fasts are really powerful. It's one of the things that I use all the time to almost extend the quality of the fast, which is why I do the water from Wednesday to Thursday to Friday morning. And then this dry fast is almost like I'm doing another 2 or sometimes 3 days, because the body is really going to go into autophagy at that point, because it doesn't even have water or liquid to go by or to use, right? It just has to find its own thing, and which is really what fasting does. It helps with autophagy. So come Saturday morning, you can then have, we're going to ease back up. What we did here was, with the fast on the 14th and the 15th was gliding into the fast. Then on Wednesday, we sort of started, we're going to start the fast at that time. Thursday, Friday, if you want to do the dry fast, we're peaking it at that point. And then on Saturday morning, we're coming out of the fast. So to come out of the fast, we are going to do the electrolytes, and you're going to have tea in the morning. Then about midday, have some electrolytes. And then for the afternoon, you can put in your kefir and yogurt and vegetable broth at that time. Let's not put in anything with fats or anything like that as yet, because the body is still slowly getting back to normal, especially the biome that's in your tummy. If you don't have kefir and yogurt, which are plain, then you can always use things like, I think I have it at the top here. Yeah. You can always use pickle juice or sauerkraut, maybe kimchi if it's not spicy or anything like that. You really want something that's going to give you some good bacteria. That's really what we're doing. We're now feeding and lining the gut with good bacteria, so that when we start to eat, there is something in there. The colony has started to grow before we start, right? And so the kefir and the yogurt and the vegetable broth is going to do that for us on Saturday. And on Sunday morning, we'll have our Sunday morning cacao. So hopefully you have plain cacao that you can have, and it's just having a good cacao mixture. So it will be cacao. If you want to put things like turmeric with black pepper, cinnamon in there. If you have, there's some other things that we can put in there just to spice it up. So I said cinnamon. Did I say cinnamon, pumpkin spice, anything like that, right? So just have a nice cacao mix at that time. Then for lunch, you can have your fatty bone broth. And technically, that's it. Your fast is complete, and you can go into your regular Easter dinner on April 20th. All right. So that was a longer video than I wanted it to be, almost 20 minutes. But I was trying to see if I can give you as much as possible on what it is that we're going to do for this fast week. So a couple months to prepare. So we have February, March, and then we're doing it in April. So I hope you can join me with this. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I will do my best to answer them. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.